Bentley, Crystal, Savannah. Hello and welcome everyone to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And, well, what a wonderful day to be visiting some of our hybrid cat rescues. And Rudy, I'm looking at you. I called you Bentley. This is Rudy and not Bentley, who's kind of absorbing the entire frame here. But hello and welcome everybody to a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Welcome back to another week here after a long weekend, a long holiday weekend. And for those who celebrated Labor Day, hopefully you got the day off and it was enjoyable and perhaps maybe kind of a last hurrah for summer, maybe even. It's Crystal up top. We need to give little Miss Savannah the attention that she's clamoring for. But hello and welcome everybody. Good afternoon, and I'm happy to have you all along for a live post today here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And certainly you've all been along for the ride. I mean, I want to say over the last 2, almost 3 weeks, it has really been full of, and for important reasons, of really introducing some new rescues and new faces here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. Of course, the Oregon seizure that we concluded with our introductions last week. And then all the way back thinking to right before Oregon, we were introducing to you, we were telling you Mango's story and all of the Canada cats. So now a little bit of a kind of a return to form almost, where we're so happy that we've got those introductions, got those introductions in, so we can kind of, I don't want to say go back to our normal to-dos, but more so just kind of illuminate perhaps some people who have joined the Wildcat Sanctuary during that time. That's usually a high frequency time. We get a lot of new followers and new supporters or during new rescues, where we now get to maybe let some of these newcomers see maybe the full breadth and get a full understanding for the operation here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And that some of the new faces that they met over the last 2 weeks are just a few of over 150 faces here at the Wildcat Sanctuary that your support benefits here every single day. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with some kiddos here in CatioTown, and usually I'm kind of on the inside cruising around some of the indoor bedrooms, but I'm kind of hoping to make a loop on the exterior of CatioTown and kind of go through all the catios and see who's where and what they're doing. And I do have a few treats as well. There's a group, I'm here with a group, and so sometimes Rolex even back there can be a little undiplomatic during treat time. So, though we love you so, mister, I know that, like I said, I'm putting that a little nicely, that you can be a little undiplomatic to some of your companions when treats are the equation. And the comments are working today, Mr. Rolex, so I'll sure to be getting some hellos in. Mr. Cornelius, smelling that fresh northern Minnesota air. I can get some hellos in right now. From the top here. Arlene Ramirez saying, hi, Judson and beautiful kitties. Jeremy Snap getting excited. He made a live. What's happening, Jeremy? Betty Winter checking in from California. Hey, Betty. Hope all is well out west. John Newt asking, how do you find these hybrid cats? Or can they be domesticated or not? Well, John, that's a kind of a good question, and really kind of a loaded question, but like I said, in a good way. How do we find these hybrid cats? Well, certainly we're not finding them as a rescue organization. Look at Rolex go. We are being contacted to rescue these cats through the proper and legal channels. And then, can they be domesticated? That's a very good question, John, and very simply is kind of the largest question surrounding these hybrid cats, and very simply why they are here at Sanctuary. You're looking at Rolex drinking from his water fountain there, and you can look at Rolex. He walks like a cat, talks like a cat. Well, there's actually something deeper going on. You can look at his coat, and that's an indication of what that deeper meaning is, and that Rolex is crossed with a wildcat. Rolex is crossed with an Asian leopard cat and a domestic cat, and he is a Bengal cat, which is a hybrid cat. And can they be domesticated or not? And And the very simple answer that I would say here at the Wildcat Sanctuary is that even a hybrid, John, wild is wild. And that wild is always going to supersede maybe some of those domestic tendencies that have been implanted into these hybrid wildcats. But I think that wild is always going to overcome or maybe outweigh the hybrid or maybe the domestic part of the hybrid equation. But very simply, as we know here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, is a forever home for these hybrid cats, where many of them, due to state laws, cannot be rehomed out because of the hybridization of this cat species, or I should say just cat hybrid. But it's a good question, John, and something to where, you know, we often understand that these cats may act so similar to maybe your cat at home, and that they may have these similar tendencies, and that they look rather harmless in that. But unfortunately so, there is so many more layers to just there's more than meets the eye, so to speak. And that Bentley certainly is beautiful, but kind of scratching the veneer a little bit, or Rolex, for example, is certainly beautiful, but scratching that veneer just a little bit, and you're going to see all the types of reasons that wild is wild, no matter if it's a hybrid cat or not. And I love this, Raja, and this is something we always need to talk more about. And Raja, you're chiming in saying hi to the hybrids and mentioning that you're a Bengal mom of 3, and just how many Bengals are in need of adoption, are in need of home, and how we love seeing experienced cat owners who understand the breed and know the breed traits and breed characteristics and can offer an experienced forever home to these cats. You know, I think that's one thing that perhaps I look forward to way down the line, is having the type of situation where I might be able to help one of these hybrid cats in need of rescue, and that I would have a large outdoor space, that I would have an indoor space that's neutral, that I would have a lifestyle that's predictable, and that I know I maybe wouldn't be moving, that I wouldn't be having these kind of major upheavals. So I often kind of think about that day, and that is one thing that is just so important to say as we kind of talk about and understand what is appropriate cat ownership, and understanding that these hybrid cats are here and they're rescues, but they don't have to be at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We obviously, like Miss Jewel here, like prioritizing in the high generation hybrids. So Miss Jewel is an F1 Bengal. But man, are there so many of those Bengals in need of a home, and there's not enough space in sanctuaries as it stands. And so for those experienced cat owners to know what they're getting into, to know what the Bengal breed is capable of, and for them to stand up for that cat for a lifetime of care is something we need more in this world. And Jewel is just, you know, it's almost like she can read and write. She is laying in a box that was made just for her. There's nobody else there but just Jewel. And I do love how our caretakers have decorated that box. It's a very bright and sunny box, and Jewel, well, very simply, it's quite the contrast to Jewel's personality. Jewel's a little grumpy in the best ways. She keeps to herself, and certainly as an F1 is that's very much in their nature. But I just love kind of that juxtaposition of a sunshiny box and maybe a little bit of a cloudy cat overall. Maria Pagano saying hi to Jewel. And about 100 of you watching with us today. Hello and welcome everybody to the Wildcat Sanctuary. It is Tuesday, the Tuesday after Labor Day, and hoping you all had a fun long weekend. We're visiting with some of the hybrid rescues out here outside of CatioTown. You can see, obviously you typically might see us in the indoor building inside of CatioTown. And so I'm actually just going to kind of do a loop around CatioTown and see who we see. And of course, Miss Savannah, I'm already getting chatty. I'm already getting held up just right here. I haven't even rounded the corner just yet. So let's see who we see. And hi, Mr. Cornelius. All right. I think I saw Monica out, and so Jewel is with Monica, Beck, Ledger, of course. And I do love seeing that, just like they have their nameplates on their indoor bedrooms inside. They have their nameplates outside as well. And of course, yeah, don't forget Mr. Merlin. And I do have some treats as well that hopefully I'll be able to dispense out. But nonetheless, glad to have everybody with us. Glad to be visiting with some of our hybrid rescued residents. There's Miss Rachel. It's always so great, and kind of as I was talking at the top of the live post of, kind of coming off of, the announcements of all of these residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary from Canada, Oregon. Those are certainly kind of high percentage times where there's new people coming into the Wildcat Sanctuary fold, and so I like that we've now are kind of coming out of a lot of those intros. We still have a lot of those new faces and new ears who are wanting to learn about all things Wildcat Sanctuary and touching on, very simply, what is the small cat crisis and coming into CatioTown. I think it just helps inform, what is, it's just such a yet another tile on the detailed tapestry that is the Wildcat Sanctuary, and what we're able to do, not just for some of the big exotic cats that we were meeting over the last 2 weeks, but here and what we're doing for some of the smaller exotic cats who very much need our help just as much as the large. And that's Mr. Felix the Bengal. And Felix lives with Kisa and Bonsai. And I don't think any of those two are out, but Felix, I do have, if you don't go inside, I do have a treat for you. But I don't have a can or a bag. Oh, Bonsai's out here, so maybe he'll come and enjoy some treats here. Bonsai's just in his little bungalow right here in front of me. Ooh, yay, I love seeing that, Kelly, getting excited and feeling proud, rightfully so. I love that sense of ownership that our sponsors get from the support that they offer. And Kelly, getting excited about your sponsorship of Sage. And we're going to be coming around the bend and seeing that Highlander hybrid group. So rest assured, hoping we can get a Sage cameo. I'll do my best to ID on the fly here too. This is another F1 Bengal. This is F1 Bengal Bonsai. There's Kisa out here too. I heard a meow somewhere, Bonsai. And Kisa would be another F1. Oh, I think that was Monica meowing. Do you want some treats, pretty girl? Miss Shy Girl? I'll put them up here. I'll put them right there. Oh, that makes me so happy. Monica is perhaps not a high generation Savannah cat, but along with her sisters, Monica and Phoebe, they certainly are some of the more shy hybrid rescues, and so that's definitely a special moment for me. Her coming up and taking some treats right there. I'm gonna put it right up here, cutie, on that platform. So I love seeing that, and oh, isn't that the bridge with shy cats? There are a few treats to start kind of mending the ties, and lo and behold, there they are, slowly letting their guard down. It's, those are the little evolutions that I get to see as, the lowly communications person, but those types of evolutions and trust that the caretakers get to witness firsthand, that's a product of the hard work that they do here. Because Felix, when I first met you, there's no way I could have imagined you doing what you're doing now. Bonsai, when I first met you, I could say the same exact thing. Mr. F1 slinking around his habitat, hardly able to get a photo of you. And just, an example of one of many of the sanctuary evolutions that your support makes possible. Kirsten says Bonsai needs work on his sharing skills. I'll see if I can do the Hail Mary throw back to Felix there. And it bounced right into... There we go, Felix. There we go. All is equal here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I've kind of gotten to the heat of handing out treats here, so I apologize if I've missed a few comments or questions. Coming across the City Chic suite, I saw Ashes in her indoor bedroom napping pretty hard, so I'm not sure if we'll see her, but I can give Ashes just a little treat for later. Hey, another thing that we're not going to be seeing, and that sponsors are going to be getting an update today. All right, gentlemen, we can get along. And that sponsors are going to be getting an update today is that we're not going to be seeing Mango here in CatioTown because she had a big move last Friday. So you're going to be kind of learning all in detail, Mango's sponsors, that is, about that today. And we're actually going to be posting on social media later this week. Hey, Mr. Riku. And Bestie and Zena, who had a vet appointment this morning, and you two just got some updated vaccines. So look at you, back from the vet, ready to be enjoying the rest of your day. You got your brother Riku up here, and of course I have some treats for you guys. Joanne McShane, we're talking F1 Bengals earlier. It's illegal to have an F1 Bengal as a pet in the UK. It has to be an F5 Bengal to be classed as a pet. And yeah, that's one of the things is usually those changes in generation are where these, kind of state laws develop or municipal laws developed. And what is problematic with that, Joanne, is that sometimes these breeders, it's hard to hold them accountable for what the actual generation of that cat is. To where they can kind of pour honey and very much totally legal. They can kind of drum up the documentation or the paperwork in the manner that they want to. I can even think back to some times that when Tammy has been communicating with hybrid owners and them saying, oh, we purchased this F1 cat, we want to be surrendering it, so on and so forth. And then upon that rescue, upon getting the cat, we actually learned that it's actually a lower, or I should say further away from what Jewel was told by the breeder. So it's definitely problematic place, but unfortunately there's not the kind of quality control being done to the breeders to truly confirm that the cats they're selling are a 5th generation or higher, to where, like I said, sometimes they might just pour honey in your ear to make a profit, as we often see with these hybrid breeders, and say that, oh, yep, this cat's 5th generation, 100%, where they're, like I just said, just trying to make a... And I know service is getting a little sticky over here. What do you guys think? What about a tube? Do we like the tube? But like I said, service is getting a little sticky over here, so we're going to keep on doing our loop here so we can continue to visit with some of our hybrid rescues today. But still happy to have everyone along for the ride here. I'm going to put this tube right up here, pretty girls. Yeah, that's fun. But so happy to have everybody along for the ride here. We got to see Rachel earlier. This is one of Rachel's sisters. And Bengal DJ. I just am not at a good angle. There we go. And that's Miss Monica and DJ laying down. I was hoping to see Bengal Axel, who's got a favorite hangout spot up on top of that skywalk there. And it's Bengal Axel, DJ, Miss Monica, who you see there, and then Phoebe. And I certainly would say this group is maybe one of the more shy groups. Hey, there you are, Phoebes. Let's see if I can have some connections with some shy cats today on our live post. I know DJ's coming. And these are, I certainly wasn't having a bad day or anything, but I think that these are some of the unexpected moments and the privileges that you're offered here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and that kind of lift you right up, where even Phoebe being a little standoffish, but still wanting to hang out in my general area, DJ coming over and getting some treats, Miss Monica behind him. I just think that that's certainly special for things that can happen in a day's work at the Wildcat Sanctuary that lift you right up, and it's such a privilege. Good job, Phoebe. A few more to your sister down below. I can give you a little more space, Phoebes. Oh, I just love that. So happy to see some shy hybrids coming out of their shell, even if it takes a little, treats to grease the wheels. It still makes a difference. And just like I said earlier about Felix or Bonsai, I mean, I think that these cats are certainly ones where way back when I first met them, I didn't think that I'd be hanging out and handing you treats while we did a live post, Miss Phoebe. And those pretty yellow eyes that you have. Just kind of cruising around and seeing if I can see Axel in here. And it doesn't look like it. He's probably inside in one of his cubes. All right. Roger the Bengal getting excited and I love to hear such an amazing addition to us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and to think that as you've kind of been seeing, this is like a fantasy land for these cats, and for many of them this wasn't in their future. This was a last chance for so many of our cats, where these hybrid cats are often facing euthanasia, and to think that many of them were scheduled for euthanasia, and now they're living out their life in a forever home that has these kind of fantasy elements even, it's really something special and something to get excited about. And we've made our way over to the Highlander hybrid group, the younger group that is. And of course I'm greeted by an enthusiastic abbot. And I'm looking for Mama Bear, Sandy, Sage, Clover, Cupid. They must be having a big old cuddle puddle inside. But let's see. I can give you a treat, Mr. Abbott. I'm just going to peer through. I guess I can't. The phone can't see anything, but I'm looking for a big glob of cats. We're supposed to be 7 in here, and we only have 1. I was hoping to see Sage, Kelly. But we still have an Abbott. Margaret K saying, how is my sponsor boy Riku? Well, Margaret, he's doing great, and he actually was strutting his stuff earlier on the live. So you'll have to, once we've completed, you'll have to maybe go back and rewatch and say hi to him in person. But Mr. Riku is doing well. His sister is actually Zena and Bestie. They had a little vet exam, got some updated vaccines this morning. But they're also on the live, right back in their room already. But thank you for looking out for Mr. Riku in that special way as a sponsor parent, Margaret. And Deb, Offie, certainly I know, we're all cat lovers here. That's one thing that is, we'll declare that right off the bat. And just reading your comment, OMG, I want this one. I want to snuggle them all. And I think that's one of us, as cat lovers, we are predisposed to wanting to snuggle, wanting to pet. And, but, being a cat lover, with great power comes great responsibility. And the responsibility here at the Wildcat Sanctuary is understanding that these cats might be cute, but there is more than meets the eye, kind of like I mentioned earlier in this live post, to take a page out of the Transformers book there, and that they are hybrid cats, and they're hybridized with wild cats, wild exotic cats, and that they may look cute, they may look cuddly. Many of them are cute. Many of them, very much give off that they are cuddly. But at the end of the day, they are hybrid cat rescues and have been surrendered here for a variety of reasons, and those reasons all being tethered back to the wild part of the hybridization of these cats. Whether it's territory urination, whether it's maybe different than some of the cats that we've been, are right here on camera, but the group that we were just with, DJ, Monica, and Phoebe, they might not be as social as other domestic cats. Unfortunately, there's a lot of health issues associated with the breeding and hybridization of these cats. And so on, we hear these story after story, same story after story with each one of these rescues. So again, as a cat lover, boy, oh boy, do I know that knee-jerk reaction when we see a cute cat. I think these cats in particular, you see the spots, you see the rosettes, they're certainly unique, but understanding that unique look is derived from a wild cat. And it's no fun being the, kind of buzzkill, but at the end of the day, I think you're going to find more reward and value in being educated and informed and understanding what these cats are than just saying it's cute, I don't care what it is, I want it. Yeah, Mr. Goofy. I was hoping you would invite some of your siblings outside, but they must really, really be deep in a cat nap right now. We're going to do our little loop here, everyone. As I mentioned, we're not going to be seeing Mango because she had her big move last Friday. Sponsors are going to be getting an update today. Tammy's going to be posting on it on Mango's page. Tomorrow, if not later this week. But it's pretty quiet out here in CatioTown, at least the outdoor area. We know that it's always buzzing inside, Mr. Cornelius. I thought you were going to rub, Mr. Handsome. Here's Mr. Rolex. Margaret Case asking, how's the weather today? It's, Margaret, started off the day with actually some thunderstorms and raining. I was driving with the windshield wipers going, and it was really just, kind of a stormy morning, but that's given way to really a pleasant, dare I say, early fall day. Slightly kind of cooler, even some cooler temps, more cooler temps in the forecast this week. So really pretty beautiful. All right, everyone. Well, cool. We've made a nice little lap here around CatioTown. I have some fans following me here for some more treats. But I want to thank you all for tuning in to today's live post. Marcy asking, did the Northern Lights dance above the sanctuary last night? That's a good question, Marcy. I need to be more aware of these things. I didn't even know that we were perhaps due for a Northern Light show. So shame on me. But if they did, I'm sure they were beautiful, and cats like Cornelius and all his pals were looking up at the cosmic marvel in awe. But fun if you went out and did that. That's always so cool to see. But nonetheless, everybody, thank you for tuning in to today's live post. It's a little bit of an odd week, I'll admit that. I know that I'm actually not going to be here Friday, and it's already a condensed week with it being a short one after Labor Day yesterday. But nonetheless, still expect quality TBS programming as usual, and looking forward to maybe even just highlighting some more of the Oregon and Canada cats. I know that we need to work on some sponsorships for a few of them. It was awesome to see that the sponsor distribution across the cats was fairly even, but a few of them still need everyone's help. So I know that's one thing we'll be talking about this week. Otherwise, I think it'll be kind of nice and quiet and just all in all, continuing to care for and celebrate the cats that we all love most. So Mr. Rolex and everyone tuning in to today's live post, have an excellent rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you back here at the Wildcat Sanctuary soon. Bye, everyone.